the life of a pirate. The words conjure images of adventure, freedom, and untold riches. On the high seas, these outlaws operated outside the law. They challenged empires and amassed fortunes. But what was it really like to live as a pirate during the Golden Age of Piracy? The allure of piracy was strong for many reasons. The promise of wealth was a powerful motivator. Pirates could become rich by plundering ships laden with treasure. They also sought adventure and escape from the rigid social structures of life on land. On a pirate ship, a man or woman could reinvent themselves. But the romanticized image of a carefree pirate is often far from the truth. Life on board ship was harsh and dangerous. Disease, storms, and battles were constant threats. And while pirates valued freedom, their ships operated under strict codes of conduct. Join us as we delve into the thrilling and treacherous world of the Golden Age of Piracy. The Golden Age of Piracy is generally considered to have spanned from the 1650s to the 1730s. During this time, maritime trade flourished. European powers clashed over control of colonial possessions and shipping lanes. This created a perfect storm for piracy to thrive. The Caribbean Sea in particular became a hotbed of pirate activity. Its warm waters, numerous islands, and steady trade winds made it ideal for both merchant ships and the pirates who preyed upon them. Tortuga, an island off the coast of Hispaniola, became a notorious pirate haven. There, they could find safe harbor, supplies, and a ready market for their stolen goods. Governments struggled to combat the growing pirate threat. Naval forces were often overstretched and outmaneuvered by the pirates' superior knowledge of local waters and their fast, agile ships. This contributed to the pirates' success and their enduring image as rebels who defied authority. But the Golden Age of Piracy was not destined to last. By the 1730s, European powers began to crack down on piracy. They increased naval patrols and offered pardons to pirates who surrendered. The romantic era of swashbuckling buccaneers was coming to an end. The Golden Age of Piracy produced a cast of unforgettable characters. These larger-than-life figures have captured our imaginations for centuries. Their exploits have been immortalized in books, movies, and legends. Blackbeard, whose real name was Edward Teach, was perhaps the most feared pirate of his time. He cultivated a terrifying appearance, adorning his beard with lit fuses to intimidate his enemies. Blackbeard terrorized the Caribbean and the American colonies, blockading the port of Charleston in 1718. Anne Bonny and Mary Red, two of the most famous female pirates, defied social norms by dressing as men and joining pirate crews. They fought alongside their male counterparts, earning reputations for their bravery and skill in battle. Bartholomew Roberts, known as Black Bart, was one of the most successful pirates in history. He captured hundreds of ships during his 3-year career. Roberts was known for his flamboyant style and strict code of conduct, which included rules against gambling and mistreating prisoners. These are just a few of the many colorful characters who sailed the seas during the Golden Age of Piracy. Their stories continue to fascinate and inspire us, offering a glimpse into a time when adventure and danger lurked around every corner. Life aboard a pirate ship was a world apart from the romanticized image often portrayed. While the promise of riches and freedom was a powerful lure, the reality was often harsh, brutal, and short-lived. The ships themselves were typically small, fast, and maneuverable vessels, often captured merchant ships refitted for speed and firepower. Life below deck was cramped, unsanitary, and fraught with disease. Food was often scarce and of poor quality, water was a precious commodity, and scurvy was a constant threat. Despite the hardships, pirates were fiercely independent and democratic. They elected their captains and abided by ship's articles, a code of conduct that outlined the distribution of treasure, punishments for infractions, and compensation for injuries. Discipline was strict, and punishments could be severe. Mutiny was a constant threat, as crews were quick to challenge captains who were perceived as weak or unfair. Life at sea was a constant gamble, with the promise of riches balanced against the ever-present possibility of death or capture. What drove men and women to embrace the pirate life? The reasons were as varied as the individuals themselves. For some, it was the lure of riches and the opportunity to escape poverty. For others, it was the desire for adventure, the chance to explore new lands and experience the freedom of life beyond the law. Many pirates were former sailors, often forced into piracy after being mistreated or cheated by their captains. Others were escaped slaves or indentured servants seeking a better life. Some were simply criminals seeking refuge from the law. The Golden Age of Piracy coincided with a period of intense social and economic upheaval in Europe. Wars, poverty, and religious persecution drove many people to seek their fortunes elsewhere. The New World, with its promise of wealth and opportunity, held a powerful allure, but the reality for many was harsh. The colonies were often dangerous and unforgiving places, and opportunities for advancement were limited. For those desperate enough, piracy offered a way to strike back at the system that had failed them. Pirate battles were not the elegant duels of swordplay often depicted in fiction. They were brutal, chaotic affairs, fought with cannons, muskets, and cutlasses. Victory often went to the crew that could inflict the most damage and board the enemy vessel first. Pirates relied on speed and maneuverability to their advantage. Their ships were often smaller and faster than their merchant prey, allowing them to dictate the terms of engagement. They favored hit-and-run tactics, using their cannons to cripple their targets before moving into board. Boarding was a frenzied and bloody affair. Pirates would swarm onto the enemy deck, wielding cutlasses, axes, and pistols. Their goal was to overwhelm the defenders and take control of the ship as quickly as possible. While pirates were often outnumbered and outgunned, they made up for it with their ferocity and their willingness to take risks. The element of surprise was also crucial. Pirates often flew false flags to lure unsuspecting ships within range before hoisting the Jolly Roger. The Golden Age of Piracy may have ended centuries ago, but its legacy continues to fascinate and inspire us today. Pirates have become enduring figures in popular culture, their image romanticized in books, movies, and television shows. The Jolly Roger, the iconic skull and crossbones flag, has become a symbol of rebellion, adventure, and freedom. It has been adopted by various groups and subcultures throughout history, from motorcycle gangs to computer hackers. But the legacy of piracy is complex and multifaceted. While they are often romanticized as rogues and rebels, it is important to remember that they were also criminals who engaged in violence, theft, and brutality. Their victims were often innocent merchants and sailors simply trying to make a living. The Golden Age of Piracy offers a fascinating glimpse into a turbulent period of history. It reminds us of the enduring human desire for freedom, adventure, and the pursuit of wealth. But it also serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed, lawlessness, and the corrupting influence of power.